Hi, welcome back everyone. Today we're going to do a 28-month update on the Redsea Reefer 250. All right, so let's get started. So things have been going really well. I have one major change to show you this week. If you've been following the last update, you would have known that I'm trying to kind of simplify running the reef. Running a reef, especially an SBS system, there's a lot of things that you have to do. There's a lot of things that you have to stay on top of. So every time you try, you could make your life a bit easier, then that will just make the hobby a lot more enjoyable. Last month, one of the big improvements that I did was I used the new K-More dosing containers that hold 2 liters. So that meant that I didn't have to change my dosing container very often. And this month I did a major change that last month I said that the K-More dosing containers was the best thing since sliced bread, but I've did something even better now. So here it is. Without further ado, let me show you the major change. Dude, where's my automatic top-off reservoir? It is gone. Yes, I finally did it. Yeah, if you've been following the tank, you would have known that over here I had my 5-gallon reservoir for my top off my Tanzi, and that 5-gallon container was the pain of my existence. Every 4 days I would have to go downstairs, refill it from a bigger container and bring it up. Occasionally it would leak and I would have a little bit of spill here on the floor. And it wasn't very fun. And the most annoying thing is occasionally once a month or so, I would think that I have enough, and I would go to sleep, and the reservoir would run out in the middle of the night, and the Tanzi would start beeping, and this annoying beeping sound in the middle of the night. Often I would get rudely awoken by that sound, and then it happened so many times that I actually would go to sleep and I would dream about the Tanzi going off, and that itself would wake me up. Anyway, so it wasn't great. So what I did is I moved the Tanzi, the water reservoir, downstairs to the basement. So let me show you. Let's go downstairs right now. So here's a 45-gallon brute container that is now my new water reservoir. And there is a line that goes up, so my tank is upstairs here. And so I drilled a hole right underneath the tank. And so the Tanzi now lives here. Let me show you. So there's the Tanzi pump. You could make it out on the bottom. Now the great thing is this is the same brute that I make my automatic, my RODI water in. So all I need to do is, so this float switch is actually already connected to my RODI system. So I fill it up and it stops off automatically, and then I turn off the water I turn off my RODI system, and this water gets used up. My estimate is that I will now go for maybe a month or 2 months before I actually have to refill this again. And then when it's down to the end, I just turn on the tap again to my RODI water, and this fills up. So easy peasy. This, I think, is a great improvement for me. Here is the inlet where whenever I need to refill this, I just plug the output from my RODI system, turn a tap, and this fills up and stops automatically. So really happy with this change. I've implemented this about 2 weeks ago. I haven't had to worry about refilling my my water, my ATO reservoir. So it's been great. There's actually another very useful benefit to moving my ATO reservoir outside the tank. Let's go upstairs so I could show you. Okay, so we're back. So the other major improvement in the tank now that the ATO reservoir is downstairs is I get all of the space in the cabinet again. So I have all of this to use. That means that I could add additional equipment. I could have extra storage. I could have bigger dosing container. I do have a plan. I do have a plan for something to go here. We've all been hearing news about automatic a water testing system like the Apex Trident that's supposed to be coming out soon. There's already a few systems to monitor alkalinity. So there's the GHL Guardian, I think, or the KH Guardian. Anyway, there's been a few systems that let you monitor alkalinity and potentially dose, and supposedly the Apex Trident is going to be coming up soon, where you could monitor alkalinity, calcium, and magnesium. So I think this space is going to be for the next investment in time savings for the tank for me, which would be something to either deal with the alkalinity monitoring and dosing, or all three elements: calcium, magnesium, and what's the other one? And alkalinity. So I'm so glad that this space is free now, because I've been thinking about having these monitors and using them, but there was no space, right? So I couldn't have possibly got a KH Guardian, for example, because where would I put it with this space being taken by the reservoir? But now I have the option. So I'm going to wait for. I'm just going to stand up again. So I'm going to wait a little bit until the Apex Trident is coming out on the market. Supposedly it should come out. Well, I mean, so I don't know anything personally. I'm not part of the Apex Insider group. But the last YouTube videos from the spring of 2008, they were talking about releasing the Trident maybe in around Christmas time. So I'll wait a little bit for it to go online and see what the reviews, what the users say about it. If it's accurate, then I think I'm gonna get myself one and put it right in this corner here. If there is issues, then I think I might go with one of the other systems that are already in the market for doing just alkalinity. But I think it'd be great. That would free up more time if I don't have to test alkalinity every week and keep adjusting the two-part dosing. But that's essentially the biggest change in my tank for this month. Everything else, let me close this. Everything else has been going really well. I'm gonna go through a top-down tour. I did lose one fish, my yellow watchman goby. I woke up one day and I found him on top of this quarter-inch netting, and I have no idea how he managed to squeeze through here. I can't imagine, because he was a pretty big yellow watchman goby. Much bigger than a quarter-inch netting. But I woke up one day and I found him lying here dead. I tried to revive him, but it was too late. So that was one negative. But overall, the tank is doing really well. I'll show you through the corals from the top. There's a few colonies that I think are in need of some trimming. This blueberry wine is getting really big, and yeah, the bird's nest is always big. This blue tenuous, turquoise tenuous, is getting really big as well, and the Pac-Man is definitely in need of a bit of trimming. All right, let's do a top-down tour, and then we'll wrap up. Okay, so very quickly before I start the top-down tour, I always get these questions. So you guys see the Radeon pucks here, and a common question that I get is, why did I take on my diffusers? Why did I remove the diffusers? Actually, I don't. I always have my diffusers running. I really love the diffusers. I just take them out whenever I do my top-down video, because it's just, I find that I like the colors a little bit more. So you see when the diffusers are on, you can't really make out the colonies from the glare, but you remove the diffusers and you could see a little bit more of the SBS. So that's why I take off. That's why I take off the diffusers. Okay, so we'll start here. This is the blue tenuous, turquoise tenuous. If under white light, it looks turquoise, but when you have blues and UV, then these blue tips, these tips fluoresce very vibrant blue. It's been doing really well, growing really quickly. You see, it's actually going to touch this rock pretty soon, so I have to do something about that. The bird of paradise, or bird of paradise, looking great. Again, getting too big, so I'm gonna have to cut it a bit. The red planet, or a red planet, is looking really nice, and I'm finally starting to see nubs coming out. That white spot is actually a bit of coral that I broke off the other day because somebody wanted a little frag. So it's actually you could see these little nubs that are coming up. So it's been just encrusting for 2.5 years now, but finally I'm starting to see some growth upwards. The blueberry wine is just, it's a monster. It's becoming one of the biggest colonies in the tank, and it's encrusting really well, and it's shooting out a lot of branches. It's got these lovely blue tips. So it's definitely something that I'm going to have to trim a little bit. Part of the trick of managing SBS colonies is you want to, when you put the frags, give them a little bit of space, because they will grow. They'll grow into big size colonies, and if you give them space, then you kind of allow them to grow naturally. But then you have to kind of manage them. So that way, one colony doesn't get too big and overwhelm the tank and shade the others. So, for example, here, the blueberry wine and the red planet both went at the same time, and the blueberry wine took off really quickly, and the red planet is taking its sweet time. So I just have to kind of trim back the blueberry wine a little bit to give more room for the red planet. All right, let's look at the corner here. This is a new, it's been in a tank for a month now, but this is essentially just a tiny nub of Icefire echinata. We'll see how it does. I did have a sea cow here, sea cow colony, but you could see that it actually got killed off by the red planet. I don't mind, because I actually like the red planet a little bit more, but yeah, again, I'm learning a lot about what gets along with what as the colonies are growing together and fighting a little bit. All right, here we have Superman, Monty, and then let me move around so I could give you a better angle of the pink Cadillac. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, guys. There is a few videos that I'm planning to work on. There is going to be an upcoming video on the results of dosing trace color. So I've been doing an experiment for the last month with Redsea's color program. I've been dosing every day, and I have pictures before and after dosing. So I'll do a video showing comparisons, so you get to see for yourself whether the product does what it's claimed to do, at least in my tank. I have another video on how to dose, and then I'm going to be doing another update on the Evo 13-gallon system. So thanks so much for watching, and see you next video.